everybody. Good evening. What's going on? We are live on a Thursday night on Core Nation's YouTube, Facebook, and X for the Five Heart Podcast. I'm Greg Mahachko, and Minnie Hunt will be here. She is running behind, and that is okay because Lord knows I've been late multiple times, so the scales are balancing. But we are thrilled to have, at least at the beginning of the show, a very special guest, and it's Michael Andrews. And you may not know Michael, but you are definitely aware of the initiative that he helped bring about, and that is the $5 Bits of Broken Chair Trophy. It is the trophy. It's the only trophy that I care about as a Nebraska fan, and it is the one that Nebraska and Minnesota will play for tomorrow night in Minneapolis. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We were just talking a little bit, before coming on air, but we joked that the fundraising aspect has really become like the sweetheart of this rivalry, right? The $5 Bits of Broken Chair Trophy originated on Twitter, or X, formerly Twitter. We'll call it Twitter for the purposes of this conversation. Faux Pelini and the Minnesota mascot Goldie Gopher. Take us back to the very beginning of just the how it all began online with this make-believe trophy.
Sure. So back in 2014, the Faux Pelini account was tweeting at Goldie before the game and said that, how about we have a friendly wager for this? And Goldie the Gopher said, if we win, you give me $5. If you win, I get to smash a wooden chair over your back. And Faux Pelini said, as long as we can turn that into a trophy game next year. And then Goldie Gopher, like on brand, showed up with a broken chair trophy for the game. And that's really how it started. It was just kind of an organic thing that was some fun stuff on Twitter, and it went from there. So
coming from the Big 8 days and then, of course, the Big 12 days, trophies were not super huge in Nebraska football tradition. The Big 10 is steeped in trophies. There's, especially now that we get into the latter half of October into November, I feel like there's a different trophy being played for every week. I know last week when Ohio State and Illinois played, it was the Illabuck turtle, the wooden turtle. So from the time that Nebraska joined the Big 10, we have the Hy-Vee Heroes Trophy game with Iowa. There is the, I wish I could remember it, the trophy, the Legends Trophy or something with Wisconsin. Shows how much I care about it. I can't even remember the name of it. But those are corporate sponsors. But the old oaken jug or Paul Bunyan's axe, things like that, they weren't corporate trophies. They were organic. I probably 115 years ago, there were rascals who were going from one campus to another stealing important crap, and that became the traveling trophy. I love that this was generated from a mascot and a parody Twitter account.
Yeah, it's the only organic trophy we have that doesn't have a corporate sponsor TM tied to it, right? Like, it's just an organic thing, and that is a big thing in the Big Ten. You're right. If I'm not mistaken, Minnesota, you mentioned their brown jug, that stems from them being worried about the other team poisoning their water, so they brought their own water in water jugs, and that's like the start of that. I could be wrong there, but I think that's the right one. But you're right. They all have that historical, just organic, somehow this came to be, right? And so I think that's why I don't think I talked to any Nebraska fan that doesn't say this is the only trophy that matters to them. So
Dana Williams on Facebook tonight says it's the best trophy in all sports. So I don't know. Lord Stanley may have a differing opinion on that, Mr. Lombardi, but it's definitely the most coveted one for Nebraska. And unfortunately, Nebraska hasn't had possession of the $5 Bits of Broken Chair Trophy too terribly often in its history.
So we haven't. Small unknown because we didn't have a football game last year against Minnesota. We actually used the volleyball game for that.
Mhm.
So if you want to feel good on a technicality, we technically have had it for the last year, but I think everybody agrees this is a football trophy. And not to take anything away from the volleyball girls, I love them too. But this is and we've got to go in and win this game and bring the Hofi Trome in the right sense. So.
And no, but I do love that flexibility to it because, as I mentioned a few moments ago, it's not just the physical trophy that the team wins, and we'll get into the legitimacy, or at least how the universities view it here in a few minutes. But the fact that you were able to pivot last year, and I think you're gonna have to pivot again next year. I don't think Nebraska and Minnesota play each other again, and incorporate volleyball, because really, as I mentioned, the sweet spot about it is the fundraising efforts, through each respective fan base, and it has brought further awareness to the Team Jack Foundation on the Nebraska side, of course, and no offense to the trophy or the fan bases, but we're no Rex Burkhead, but it's that constant reminder there. And then on the other side, it is for Minnesota, the University of Minnesota.
So it's Team 1-4 is because that's Casey. Gosh, I can't think of his last name, and I should know that. Their punter, who raised a ton of money for cancer research. Mary's going to kill me that I can't remember his last name. But they're tied with the University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital. Yeah, so they're both like children focused, research for in the medical field. So yeah, it's honestly, we've all kind of said we're not sure we would still be here 8 years later if it wasn't for the charitable aspect of this. I think we all probably, we did this a long time ago when a lot of us had more free time, weren't maybe as into our family life and all of that, and probably would have handed it off or something. But the charity thing keeps driving back. This is like one of the things I look forward to every year, is just helping with this, and the sense of good that it's doing for both of those institutions. So,
and it always seems like in years past, there has been, I don't say a tailgate necessarily, but some type of get together, right, where the trophy may be displayed, even if it's at a bar, just a way to get together. Maybe they pass the hat, and do some on-site fundraising there. Obviously, this week's game is on a Friday night. Going back a couple years, it was on a Thursday night. So I don't know how that affects things. And hell, we're sitting here talking, so neither of us are at any event. But we, especially, I say we, I can't support any other team at any time. You were saying because of the work that the chair trophy has done, and the charitable aspect, that as long as they're not, when they're not playing Nebraska, you are okay pulling for Minnesota. I don't have that soft spot in my black heart. Minnie, when she gets here, she'll side with you in that regard. But it does bring a coming together that's not contentious, that's not antagonistic, but a couple of fan bases who are all there for a worthy cause, or two worthy causes, really, to have a little bit of social gathering, and a little bit of fellowship.
Yeah, when we were talking earlier and I mentioned that I root for the Gophers when they're not playing us, I want to make it clear. If you're asking me for like what I would want for a score tomorrow, like 70-0, 80-0, I would be that's where I'll be good. So there's no overlap in the chair and my Husker fandom. It's probably a little bit on the extreme. I mean, I've been doing this for 8 years, right? It's up there. But working, as I was telling you, not just working with the people in Minnesota that are helping with the chair. So, because there's both, Nebraska and Minnesota fans doing this, just the fan bases. I've been to quite a few Husker games in my life, home and away, and some fan bases are, I would say, neutral, right? Like you go there and they don't really bother you, and some fan bases are hostile. If you go back to if you ask me which team I hate the most, it's always Colorado. I grew up Big 12 days. It's hands down Colorado. But like the Minnesota fans are just they're just as welcoming as Husker fans. They're not out in the droves that we are at their games, but the people that are there, they're just great people. And so it's easy enough for me to root for them when it doesn't have an impact for us. So
That's fair. No, that's fair. Now, we talked a little bit about the legitimacy. Before we do that, let's talk. Nebraska last won on the football side. Nebraska last won this game in 2018. Previously, they won in 2016 and 2015. But we're a decade into this trophy game now, and it's been kind of one-sided. But I do recall that I think it was in 2018 when Nebraska won that the trophy the lore of the trophy didn't at one point it disappear. Like, some players took it. It ended up actually in the locker room.
So it 100% ended up in the locker room. I am trying to join your chat here, but I can't get in. We have a picture of Mike Riley holding a trophy on our website in the locker room. So we have that picture public on purpose because we don't want the schools to be able to bury it and claim it was never a thing, right? So yes, it very much was, and we don't know what happened to the trophy, so I don't want to point fingers at anyone or anything, right? Like, it just kind of disappeared that year. And so it wasn't there for the next year. And so we just decided to bring it back. And we basically took the photos that we had of it. This is how we got started, essentially. There was a couple people in Lincoln who used some of UNL's facilities. They took photos of it, made blueprints, designed it, built it. And I hooked up with them on Reddit because I was looking to do the same thing, and I just posted on there saying, hey, anybody interested in helping with this? And they were like, we're actually doing this. And we started talking, and then somehow we got connected with the people in Minnesota. And that's like, even that was organic, right? About how this all started. And it just kind of snowballed from there. So yeah, we don't know if the original trophy exists anymore or not. If it's like locked away in a closet or a dungeon or something, or if it just got, thrown in a trash. But we also, the one we remade, we etched on the very bottom, "To of Infinity," so that if they ever were to get a hold of this one and kill it, we will just bring it back again. So
it will never like Goonies. It never says die, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually I saw the graphic or the image. It's not, my computer's not cooperating, but yeah. So Mike Riley did have it. I think, honestly, everybody's probably seen the picture, but the trophy that's now is not the same trophy. So we've had a rebirth, so to speak, as you mentioned. Talking about the non-corporate nature of this prize, it got a boost. And you were telling me this because I didn't have a chance to, but Matt Rule on his House Rules YouTube show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, you were just telling me the one that dropped today said, acknowledge the fact that there are 3 trophies that Nebraska plays for. What did Coach Rule say about that?
I mean, he didn't have much. It was he was just asked about it, and he said, there are 3 trophies that Nebraska plays for, and he mentioned the Legends Trophy, the Heroes Trophy. I think those are the names. I'm with you. I don't really pay attention to them either. And the Broken Chair Trophy, but he said that like as a state of fact, like this is a trophy we play for, right? So to me, that says the fan base knows it, the team knows it, the players know it, right? Like this is a trophy we play for. And in my opinion, like what it stands for at this point makes it a lot more meaningful to win, right? Like it's, so.
Do you envision, or maybe is it the hope that at some point the $5 Bits of Broken Chair Trophy will, because right now it's in the possession, physically in the possession of the chair trophy team, right? I mean, wouldn't it be the hope that at some point the schools will like take it, start displaying it, like treating it like you would the wooden jug, Paul Bunyan's axe, the Illabuck, things like just where they embrace it as much as the fans have.
I mean, yes, that was our whole point of trying to start this, right?
Mhm.
Was that we wanted to get it enough recognition that the schools would accept it as, because it really is an organically grown trophy in the Big Ten. And, as somebody who grew up in the Big 12, it's taken me a long time to feel like a member of the Big Ten. It
Right.
probably took me 6 or 7 years to talk about the Big Ten as us, instead of like there's Nebraska that just happens to be in the Big Ten, right? And that's not a superiority thing. That's just a like it didn't feel right. And so
Right.
we've settled in. Like I think this would help solidify that like there's history behind this. There's a thing. So I say yes. That would be a bittersweet day for me, because I would really, really hope that if the schools take it on, that they continue this tradition of the charity aspect of it, because we've raised over $200,000 for these institutions. So it's not insignificant what we've done, and I would hate for that to go away just because we would love to hand it off to the schools. And frankly, with their media resources, like the Nebraska
Oh,
media
sure.
team just crushes it, right? Every week they've got great stuff out there. But with their resources and marketing and things like that, I really think they could probably 10x what we do in a season. And I just think that would be great for both institutions. And then it's an actual trophy game that people are passionate about. And yeah, we would love that, as long as they would keep that charity aspect of it going.
And so, if you're watching this on YouTube, I just dropped the link in the comments, and it said I tried to do it on Facebook too, but it says an error occurred, so I'll try that again. But that is the direct link to support Team Jack through the Broken Chair Trophy. So, I do want to talk about, because we were joking a little bit about this. Um, there's the on the field competition, but every year there's the competition off the field, which is which fan base can turn out more and support their selected initiatives. Again, Team Jack, and then on the other side it is the Team 1-4, the infusion center there at Masonic Children's Hospital. So you were telling me, I mean, like I always thought that it was pretty close, but you set me straight that it's pretty much been Nebraska dominating on the fundraising side.
I mean, we usually win. The amounts are close enough that we're happy with them, right? But yeah, Nebraska usually does end up with more. I think we just have a bit more of a larger fan base. And Minnesota has professional sports teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't. So, but yeah, we usually win that. I don't think that makes losing the last 8 games in a row or whatever easier to stomach. But it's like when I'm trying to console myself on Sunday after a loss, that's what I tell myself is, well, at least we won the donation battle. So
Well, let's. I'm going to tell the viewers and listeners where we're at on fundraising as of right now. So as of right now, for the Minnesota side, they have a goal this year. Excuse me. I'll figure out how to talk here. $15,000, and they have raised $11,667. So again, kudos to them. Like you said, they are their fan focus is split because they have a lot more sporting options. Nebraska fans have raised over $17,000 this year, 17,062, with a goal in mind of 31,000. So at this point, I would encourage anybody who is, we get super chats here most weeks. I would encourage everybody, if you can, maybe if you can't do it during the show, if you're watching on your mobile device or something like that, maybe after the show, you can just go to brokenchairtrophy.com or the link that I put in the comments, and $5, $10, something like that, towards the Team Jack, towards the fundraising initiatives for Nebraska. And then, we have really no control over what happens on the field tomorrow. It's been like, as far as, what happens on the field, tell me, Michael, your thoughts about the Nebraska football team this year.
is cautiously optimistic, correct? I feel like we've been burnt so many years in the past with this is going to be our year, right? So some of the things that I feel like are trending in the correct direction, and this is not to knock any players that have ever played in, because I think we have some talent there this year too, and we're young. But you know, we have Raiola, right? And we have like got Dane Key and Johnson's looking like he might be an NFL caliber running back, right? Like we've got some pieces of defenses looking salty, right, and crew. But to me, what I think is the difference where I keep telling myself I can't hype myself up just to be crushed again, but special teams and penalties, right?
Yeah.
Are and turnovers. They're all turnover margins positive, penalties are down, special teams is night and day difference. And when you look at the one score games we've won, that's why, right? Every year it's been we always had everything but one piece. It was either special teams or it was no defense or it was turnover margin or it was something, and we're just doing all of those little things right this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference between winning those one score games and losing them. And players deserve all the credit, but that's coaching, right? That's discipline. That's the attitude that Rules set in. Something that set the stage for me this year was Matt Rule's speech when we had the shutout at halftime, right, where they almost
Right.
scored, and he was just mad,
Oh,
right?
he
Like
went into it.
we were winning that game, and he just tore into it because he was like, you don't know how many chances you get for a shutout, and you guys are out here, and you should be playing hard every play. And like I saw that, and I was like, that's the guy I want coaching this team, right? Is somebody that's that passionate, ahead by God knows how much, that's still like you're playing every play like it's the last play you're ever gonna play. So, like I said, cautiously optimistic. Maryland was a step in the right direction, right? First time offense has went down and scored to win the game, and then defense, like, when's the last time we've done that?
Right.
And so we'll see what we're doing tomorrow. I have tons of respect for PJ Fleck. I know he rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but the guy wins. Guy finds ways to win, and he's a tough coach. So
Yeah.
I'll be interested. I think if we win tomorrow, it's going to be pretty hard to kind of curb my excitement for the rest of the year. So,
Well, mentioned Mike Riley earlier, and here's that picture of Mike holding the trophy in the locker room in Minnesota. There, again, might have been the last time we saw the original trophy, but I think about his tenure at Nebraska, and the only reason that I'm kind of bringing this up is he had the year. I think it was his first year where things just he finished 5-7. There were a lot of those close games, right? A lot of ways that just the ball bounced the wrong way, and then he rattled off the 8-win season, something like that. And just it was kind of the inverse of that. The ball was bouncing Nebraska. I feel like, to what you said, what Nebraska is doing differently this year is the little things. Did the 3 turnovers last week that I almost said Taylor, but that Dylan threw hurt. Yeah, they sucked. But hey, he threw 4 touchdowns, and you couldn't have asked for, I think, a gutsier performance from him. It's not easy running. I give Emma Johnson so much credit. It's not easy running. He's probably considered undersized, and he's running against Big Ten defensive lines and linebackers. He's, and he proved this past Saturday against Maryland that he's deserving of more acknowledgement, because he's a hard runner. And the defense, we didn't have the couple of turnovers. Deshaun Singleton had a really nice game, not to single him out, but he was definitely a big part of, I think, why Nebraska beat Michigan State. And, the defense has been steady. If you're looking for consistency, I think you got to find it on the defense.
yeah, I'd agree there. Another thing, the reason I'm that cautious optimism is both the Michigan State game and the Maryland game. When we went down, myself included, but everybody I was with kind of like got up and wasn't maybe paying attention as hard because we were all like, we've seen this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen this happen. We have this, and then we just kind of fall apart, and we didn't, right? And like I said, that's, to me, that's on the coach too, right? And Rules mentioned something along the lines of at the during the Maryland game after that Johnson run that kind of sprung everything, right?
Right.
that the players on the side, he said he could just feel it, that they were like, we're going to win this game, right? And I don't think we've had that attitude for 5-6 years. So we'll
No,
see.
and
But
I feel like every week we come out and say, if this were last year's team or the team before that or the team before that, they wouldn't have won the game. And this team, because you bring in some outside veterans like a Dane Key, I mentioned him, but not to just him, but Rocco Spindler from Notre Dame. You bring guys in who have won, close games, and the mentality shifts a little bit. So I really think that this team is continuing to trend in the right direction.
Yeah, agree.
Well, it is time. Michael, don't go anywhere.
Okay.
It is time to welcome the other half of the show, and that's by the other regular half, I should say. Minnie Hunt is here. There she is.
Hello.
Welcome, Minnie.
Hi.
I've been talking with Michael here about the $5 Bits of Broken Chair trophy. We got it.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about this. So Michael is the one who basically kind of spearheaded bringing back the award, it sounds like.
I wouldn't go that far. I was definitely on the ground level, but we just I was looking to do it for myself personally for fun. I happened to run into a couple guys who already had, I had sketched something out on paper, and on Reddit, on the Husker subreddit, I ran into a couple guys who had blueprints, like literal blueprints. They're like, no, we're rebuilding this. And I was like, that was great. And then they somehow got us in touch with a couple people from Minnesota who were also looking to do the same thing. So there was a group of us that had this same idea, right?
Yeah.
And so we all coordinated it. And then I want to say it was, I don't remember whose idea it was to tie a charity to it, right? But we were all like, yes, let's do it. But there is a solid 6 of us that were kind of all together on the ground floor that rolled this out.
Cool.
So
gosh, you've got to be very proud of this endeavor to be a part of it. Jeez, thank goodness it's still around.
Yeah, we if you'd have asked me 8 years ago that we were going to be here, and I just said earlier, we've raised over $200,000, that we've done, I would have laughed and said, this thing's not going to last that long. So yeah, it really is. We take a lot of pride in it.
Well, thank you.
So our viewers over on Facebook should now see in their comments the link to go right to the Nebraska donation side. So again, go and instead of giving us super chats, not that we don't appreciate it, but if you can go to give to Team Jack through the Broken Chair Trophy Initiative, I think that's a win for all of us. So.
Did you see, Greg, that I actually did some overlays for this?
I did.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to show them, but now would be a great time. We have this.
That's the chair, the broken chair. That's actually the trophy, right?
Yep.
And then we have this one, which cuts off the top of your head, but.
I've already been missing.
Who needs good posture? But no, those and again, just as reminders, as visual reminders to all the people out there. Yeah, if the links don't work for you, super simple, very easy to remember. Even if you're Fred and you've been drinking for a few hours, brokenchairtrophy.com. It'll get you everywhere you need to go. So.
I love it. Yeah. Michael, thank you so much for sharing that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michael, thank you for anything else that you have football,
just
chair trophy related or anything else?
Yeah, I'll just note the chair is going to be at Stub and Herb's tomorrow in Minneapolis. That's kind of the place to be for Minnesota Gophers. So that'll be there at lunch, and then it's going to be tailgating. So if anybody wants to stop by just to get a picture of it and talk to some of the team, you can message us on Facebook. So website's brokenchairtrophy.com. Facebook is facebook.com/brokenchairtrophy. Very easy to remember. You message us on there, we can tell you where they are. And if you can't donate, we totally understand. But I would just ask to share the website or even just a straight donation link to Team Jack on your social media of choice. Frankly, just getting the shares out there, like getting more visibility on it, is a huge help too. So that's a way you can help without having to spend any money. So, but other than that, I don't have anything else.
Stub and Herbs, it looks like it's within walking distance of the stadium. So have a nice lunch if you're up in the area, and check out the trophy, and then go start making bad decisions, I would say.
So it's Herbs?
Yeah, like
not herbs. Okay.
Herbs.
Well, it like the name Herb, not like the food.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. Is that a Minnesota name?
It must be.
So, Michael, thank you so much. We again appreciate your time and all the work that you're doing for the chair trophy, the foundations, and everything else. So, thanks for being part of the committee that brought it back. Because, like I said at the beginning, it's the only trophy game I care about. So,
yeah, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the time. Thank you both.
Excellent. Thank you.
See ya.
Thanks. Well, what else did I miss, Greg?
No, that was it. It's just been me and Michael for the last half hour.
Okay.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here. This is monumental because it is the eve of a Husker game, and we're still doing the show on a Thursday night.
Should we have switched it to Wednesday? That wouldn't have worked for my schedule.
Oh. It might have worked better for me, but that's okay. We'll schedule things around you, Greg.
No, well, what we'll do is you can do, you record your dialogue on Wednesday. I'll record mine on Thursday. We'll just smash them together.
Yeah, that won't work.
So
it won't work for me.
My apologies for not adjusting the show time.
Actually, it's totally fine. Tonight I'm just really excited is all I'm trying to say. Because in less than 24 hours, we'll be rounding the bend on the game.
Halftime. Or what time is it?
A little longer than halftime. So it'll be at 5:00.
Your time.
My time, which is 7:00 your time. Yeah.
So this is where I get to tell all the wonderful people, and you included, of course. I'm not going to be able to watch the game until Saturday.
Okay.
So,
well,
I'm going to a concert in Centralia, or in St. Louis. So
okay. Enjoy.
Sorry, everybody.
What concert?
Oh, it's my buddy's band. It's called Revis.
Oh, yes. You told us about this.
Yeah. So they're playing the show, and I thought it'd be good to get out of the house and go support my friend. So sorry,
good for you. Good for you.
Raji says boo, and Christopher says 6 p.m. Mountain, the best time, and that's not true.
Sometimes it's the best time zone.
Central time is God's favorite time zone.
Arizona time. Greg, I know you and I have already had separate shows that have talked about the Maryland win, but it feels like it just hasn't been talked about enough.
Okay.
Are you with me?
I'm here.
No, do you agree?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. You brought it up.
Why in the world? Look at this. Somebody agrees with me. This is my buddy. Hello, Jason. Arizona time is the best.
I mean, he might be your buddy, but he's a downright liar. Fred says, wow, if Minnie could be any less enthusiastic about Greg's concert.
Well, because
I think it's just the fact that I was sharing information about my life.
That is not true. That's not true. It's just, I've listened to the band.
Yeah. Not your thing. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. See? Why would I be excited?
No.
I'm happy for you, even though you're missing a really important game. Like this could be the game that gets us into a bowl game. This could be the tipping of the season. This is kind of a must win, Greg. Don't you feel a little guilty?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the concert was on Saturday night, but it's not.
Okay. All right. So can we give you updates during the game? Oh, you're not even going to know who won?
No, I never do.
Oh.
What
if somebody accidentally ruins it for you? Like,
So-
what if you see a score on somebody's phone, like that's standing next to you, and you're like, oh, no. Then what?
So it was the Michigan game. So just a few weeks ago, I had to step away. I had to pause it. I think it was right after we kicked the field goal in the second quarter, and I had to step away. And I made the mistake of looking at my phone a couple of hours later, and I actually had a text from my dad that said, "Oh, it's not looking too good for the Huskers." I was like, "Damn it!"
Oh, I love Dad. Dad is awesome.
Yeah. So
can we just get him to text you more about the game?
No, I have in years past, I have logged out of Facebook and Slack, and back in the day it was Twitter, to make sure that I didn't accidentally stumble across something. So no, I'm just telling everybody now, I'm not gonna be looking at my phone tomorrow, and then I'll get up, drink some coffee, and watch it Saturday morning.
Okay, whatever.
Sorry.
That would kill me.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's tough. It's yes, Christopher, I can't highlight your comment because I know Minnie has this one highlighted, but I will fast forward through commercials, which is also kind of fun. So
yeah, that's actually the only perk. The only one. All right, so Maryland last Saturday, we beat them. Although it was not as big of a win as so many of us had predicted, it was still a win, guys. It wasn't the 28-3 by Matt or the 31-10 by Gary, you guys were way off.
yeah, but those were your favorite predictions.
They actually were.
I love that one. That's a great one.
It was a little too close for comfort, to be honest, being 34-31.
So I'm sure you did the math and did all the tallying, and you have an idea of who our award winner is?
Yes, I do.
Do I do that now? I do that now.
Go ahead.
There we go.
Now presenting the Holgermaniac champion, brother.
So I haven't seen him in the chat yet, but we'll just tell him anyways. Vince Watson.
Oh, he's in here.
Oh, yay. Vince, you are our winner.
Well, what was his prediction?
He guessed 37-27. Kind of almost close.
Okay, that's closer than me. I said 38-24. So well done, Vince.
That's all you get, Vince. And
all you need.
Since we're talking about scores and who's won and things like that, before we talk about more Maryland stuff, Greg, would you mind bringing up the Pick'em? Also, what Vince started us on ESPN?
I can. I have the tab closed, so I just have to reopen the tab. Not
okay. Yeah, guys. You know,
Are you just saying this because you had a good week and is more interesting now?
No. Oh. I'm saying this because clearly there's a winner every week. And last week it was me, can't help it. I got all of them right except for one. And maybe you can tell us who the winner is this week.
Well,
this past week.
I don't know how to do it week by week. I don't know if I've ever done it week by week.
Oh, you just go to the other tab. There's two tabs.
I don't know what tab you're talking about.
Team
Group
tab.
picks. Okay, sorry.
Group picks.
Let's see. Well, Dylan is overrated. Did not get all of them right. Dylan's number one fan got the most right. And I got the least right of those who participated.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'm glad that you saw that.
We are at opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
But you didn't really think that Indiana was going to beat Oregon.
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. I don't know about that.
You want to question any others?
No.
This week is going to be really hard, though.
I haven't looked this week yet.
Oh, it's tough. LSU, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, USC. There's some tough games.
So, long story short, she finally remembers to do the ESPN pick'em, and now she's over here bragging, and she's got a better winning percentage than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to start doing more homework.
Oh, LSU plays Vandy. Ole Miss plays who?
I don't know.
I love the new rankings, by the way. Oh, I think they play Georgia. Yeah. It just came
Saturday at 2:30 Central.
Yeah, so that'll be a good game too. There's quite a few good games. LSU plays Vandy. So,
We'll play the reference there, Highlander. Greg would like to thank those who helped him nail the least wins. Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Poor Greg. Maybe you can help your
don't get enough huge references.
Greg, maybe you can help ask your band to help you with your picks. Crevice is their name, right?
Revis, Revis, not crevice, Fred. It's fun. So, Nebraska, Maryland. Nebraska wins 34-31. They own the last few minutes of the third quarter and on. They did not own, unfortunately, the 8 central minutes of the game. That's where Maryland scored in the last 4 minutes of the second quarter and in the first few minutes, first drive of the second half. So,
okay, I have a question about this game.
Okay.
Not just this game. I have a question about every other game it seems that we've played this year. What the heck happens to us in the second and third quarters? Do we just go to sleep? Do we forget to play?
Yeah,
I know we forget to score.
I don't know.
You know what I think it is? Okay, just stay with me on this.
Okay.
Could it be that we've only won the coin toss once? And even when we won the coin toss...
Because B2B says we haven't won the toss all year.
We did, but we deferred. And I don't know why we deferred. Okay? So we don't get the ball at the start of half. We've given it to them, but they've taken it every time. So we end up on defense for a length of time in the third quarter. Is that the reason why we haven't scored? We come out kind of like slower on offense, obviously.
Or
it could be this.
It's true.
Didn't we just have one interception for Maryland, though?
No,
3.
3 picks.
Oh, that's right. He did. But okay, really only one of them was his fault. One of them was the name just left me. Cortez Mills Jr. He ran the wrong route.
That miscommunication.
Yeah. Okay. Another one was Dana Holgerson calling the wrong play. And another one was Dylan flat out, which is the wrong throw.
Well, that'll happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't, looking back, I don't think you can justifiably blame Dylan on all three of those. You can't, even if you are viewing it from an anti-Dylan lens, or point of view. So things happen. And at the end of the day, the good news is he threw one more touchdown than he threw interceptions, and Nebraska won the game. I mean, now we spent a lot of time last week talking about Dane Key, so I thought it was really validating of our talking about him that he had the game-winning touchdown.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought it was validating?
I mean, it based on our conversation, and we had said we haven't seen the best that he has to offer, and then we got to see a lot more of what he's capable of. So I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was, maybe validating is not the right word, but it was good to see him have the kind of game, the kind of statistical production, as well as what he does with the downfield blocking and perimeter blocking. It was just good to see him have that all around performance that we've been kind of waiting for.
He actually addressed that in a press conference this week. Dane Key said when he was asked, what does it feel like, when Isaiah Hunter's catching all the balls? I mean, I'm going to paraphrase.
Mm-hmm.
And you're over there not. How do you stay motivated to keep doing your job? And obviously, he is going to say, I just keep putting game on film, just keep putting plays on film. And that's my goal. Which I respect. He goes, I'm on a winning football team. What more could I ask for? Yeah. And then I was thinking in the back of my mind for more plays, but okay.
No, and that's
going to get him. I think it was just a matter of finding him in those key moments, and I think going forward we're going to find him more.
And that's the type of mentality I want any of the players to have. It's like I go back to that quote all the time. It's about the name on the front of the jersey. He's not looking necessarily for personal stats or like.
Wait, what movie is that quote from, Greg? I forget. Can you remind me?
Miracle.
I'm kidding.
But I think his frame of mind is where you want it to be, because like he said, yeah, sure, he's getting a few things on film that will help him get to the next level, but he's like, I'm on a winning football team, and sitting at 5-1. Now I didn't watch all of House Rules. I caught the first few minutes of it. But Matt Rule said, yeah, we were 5-1 this time last year, and then we finished 6-6. So it's, let's not think too much of ourselves at this point. There's a lot more work to do. And a lot of that, rather than waiting till I think last year was the second to last week of the season to become bowl eligible, and we have an opportunity, Minnie, like you said here a little bit ago, of becoming bowl eligible tomorrow night, and then that would be a big step in the right direction. You're starting to win meaningful football games when you're into the tail end of October into November.
It's difficult for me not to get ahead of myself, because I'm thinking, I know for a fact, our offense is better than their offense. Okay. And I have a very good feeling that our defense is even better, at least our secondary. For Minnesota. What?
Minnie, are you talking and typing on a burner account at the same time?
No, why?
DCK says Dylan's young, dedicated, dealing with imperfect situations. It's impressive. And I was like, I think that's Minnie's burner.
Thank you, DCK. You are my favorite in the chat.
Wow.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Do you ever pay attention to what I'm saying?
I just
when
want everybody else to notice that she has officially picked a favorite of you.
I don't even know DCK. I just met him for the first time.
Doesn't matter. DCK
We
is the
know who
favorite.
your favorite is.
I don't have any favorites.
Oh, yes, you do.
No.
It's Linda Wilkins whenever she tells you you have beautiful eyes.
Well, Linda hadn't been around here in, I feel like, a year and a half.
Yeah, well, you got one compliment in the entire time I've known you, I'm sure.
Pitt is pissed.
Oh.
Nebraska threw up a little bit in his mouth. And Fred says that is Minnie's fake account, DCK Dylan Kin KFC.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
So,
well,
no, I am very excited to watch the game. I'm very excited to watch it Saturday morning. Start my day with some Husker football and a pot of coffee, and maybe one of my famous great big.
How did I know you were going to say this? Let me finish it. Is it a burrito by chance?
It's a massive grilled stuffed burrito. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. I might just wake up at 6 o'clock and start watching the football game.
All right. So,
no, sir.
What I was actually talking about, Greg, has to do with the game.
Okay.
It's not what we're eating or drinking. Okay.
Shame. There's actually a little jingle about what Greg's drinking today.
Greg, you've kind of stopped drinking, haven't you? I haven't noticed that you're drinking beer.
Yeah. No, I've cut down quite a bit. So eat garbage.
Yeah, there you go. Look at what Fred is having. He says, I'm setting up a TV on my deck, grilling a giant T-bone with some big, bold red wine tomorrow night. That sounds actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
I'll be over around 4:30.
Have a nice selection of vegetables for her.
Yes. And Beetle B made chili.
It's not chilly weather yet, Beetle. So I'm not on the wagon, just making a health decision. So a buddy of mine stopped drinking and he lost a lot of weight, and I'm going to try it. So
okay.
Or I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock Saturday morning and start drinking, depending. Who knows? Digging Arizona wants to know what's Minnie drinking today.
Water.
Today, also water.
A little H2O. Okay, so what we're talking about is the things that the Huskers did on last Saturday that we saw that were positives, guys, not negatives. We're not bringing up interceptions. Positives that are going to carry forward to this game.
Well, I was going to say something until you said carry forward to this game, because I don't know, since they've got it on film in back-to-back games, but Isaiah Hunter with a nice long touchdown again off of the screen. I don't know how many consecutive games will have success on that play, but that was another thing of beauty. Again, good blocking. Justin Evans just obliterated a defender. And once again, he's showing elite speed.
Yes. Yep.
Emmett Johnson's showing tremendous vision. Michael and I were talking a little bit about him, and it's cool that he's going home and he's been named an honorary captain. And this is one that he, I think really wants because Minnesota didn't recruit him. He was the Mr. Minnesota or their Gatorade Player of the Year or whatever it is, and so, but he's shown I think he's getting better every week. There were a few, like the Michigan game didn't have much, but I don't think that was his fault. And obviously, against not so much Akron, but Houston Christian, because he didn't play in the second half, at all. His stats weren't up there, but he had a really solid game against Maryland. And Maryland, people forget, they were a one-loss team as well. So it's not like they were slouches necessarily. I think that probably contradicts what I said last week of who the hell have they played. But, they were a talented but undisciplined team, were the Maryland Terrapins. So,
okay. Have you seen Tony in the chat?
I've not.
Ooh, right. Do you think he's boycotting us because it's the eve of the Minnesota game?
I don't think that's his way.
I bet it is. Because of insults like these? Brian Bauer says, rodents don't have opposable thumbs, so they can't hold as much as Maryland.
It depends. I've seen Ratatouille, so I know they can cook. Have
you ever seen a gopher hold very much?
No.
Me either. I think Brian is onto something.
Try and visualize if I didn't have opposable thumbs. Sorry. So that's definitely some rodent biology, Brian, I hadn't really thought of. I don't know what the hell that has to do, like how, in what context that comment even came about, but that's fine. Now, speaking of Vince Watson, Granny's special Christmas holiday victuals, minced grits, chitlins, possum belly, hog jowls, and catfish, all simmered in this gopher gravy. I gotta be honest with you, none of that sounds appealing.
You know what?
I understand it was the Depression and you had to eat what you could get your hands on, but
the only thing that got me was the possum belly. I've eaten a lot of weird things.
I once saw pictures from a Yukon Territory cookbook that probably went back 130 years. And in it, they had a recipe for a skunk's stink sack. So
what?
That. So
how do you eat that? Do you know?
Why? I don't know why.
How?
Oh, I could greggle it, but
oh, wow.
That just doesn't sound appealing.
Oh, wow.
If you're looking for high protein things to stay alive, I don't know.
Okay.
How do you eat an elephant? As Husker Chuck says, one bite at a time.
Okay. All right. That sounds fine to me. I would never touch it. Okay. Other positives that are carrying forward to this game that we're building on is obviously how well Emmett rushed for the last game.
Yeah, that's what I just talked about.
Okay. And keep coming, Greg. What else?
Oh, I thought we were alternating. I didn't know that it was my job to carry the show.
It is not yours. Obviously, I picked the topic. This is like ping pong.
Okay. So I've mentioned Dane Key had a nice performance. Isaiah Hunter. I mentioned the fact that Dylan threw more touchdowns than interceptions, which helped propel us to victory.
Yes.
We could talk about Kenneth Williams.
Oh, yes. Kenneth Williams, our gem. What do you want to talk about him?
He had an 85-yard kickoff return that set Nebraska up. They were talking about shortly after that return and the subsequent touchdown that followed moments later. They were showing offensive yard statistics side by side, and well, no shit. Nebraska doesn't have as many offensive yards. They just got 85 yards on a kickoff return. They eliminated the football field by one man's speed. Like that. out of context, it looks really bad. But you look at the fact that Nebraska just had much better field position opportunities, and it was less of a concern.
Yeah. Well, the thing is I like what Dana Williams says here. I know people on YouTube can't even see it. He says, Cousin Kenneth.
They can see it when we highlight it, I believe.
Yeah, they can. But Dana, I didn't know your reach was so far. On to one of our most important players from last week, who got a scholarship, I might add.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And I love the team's reaction, but when Rule brought in Troy Dannon and, they didn't exactly do a super job of keeping it a surprise. Like, Kenneth Williams, I understand you don't have a scholarship. Well, you do. Like it. I don't know. It was building, and then I think that the lead into the actual announcement took away from some of the, I don't know, some of the pop, some of the surprise. Maybe I'm nitpicking. I'm sorry. It was cool. It was a great moment.
What are you saying, Greg?
In the scholarship awarding to Kenneth Williams in the locker room.
Yes.
When Rule said, hey, I got, however he said, I'm paraphrasing, my buddy Troy Dannon here. And Troy says, he's like, Kenneth, I understand that you aren't on scholarship. And he's like, no, sir, I'm not. Like, well, you are not. I just felt like the execution could have been.
What would you have done, Greg?
I don't know. I feel like there's a way you can just make a statement, drop the mic, and without such the buildup that kind of buries the lead, or not buries it, but flips to the last chapter of the story.
Greg, okay.
I agree.
Let me put this in context for you. Do you mind? Do you mind if I try and put this into context for you?
Sure.
Okay. You just won a game by the skin of your teeth. Your school. You have your head coach come up to you and say, hey, this guy doesn't have a scholarship, and you saw how amazing he played. And you are like-mind, simpatico with your head coach. So you're like, I'm on it. I gotcha. And he makes the phone calls. Whoever he needs to call, gets the scholarship, arrives in the locker room right after the game, within minutes, right? And makes this announcement while Rule is giving his end of game speech, his post game speech. I mean, he's not exactly hired to give speeches. Like Rule gives these amazing, you want to go run through a brick wall. Troy Dannon just pulled every string he could to make the dreams come true for Matt Rule and Kenneth Williams. I think that's good enough.
Okay. Raji says that I should tell Troy my expectations next time. It's true. It's true. And they'll go unheeded, unheard. Such is my life.
I'm curious how you would have done it.
I don't know. On the fly, I should have thought about it more, but I just feel like you give away the surprise in the question,
Okay.
So
if you were to give him any critique, you would say, maybe don't question when you're giving a surprise. Hey, I heard you don't have an X, Y, and Z. Would you like this?
I don't know. I think we're spending too much time. I shouldn't have mentioned anything. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
All right, we'll move on. What else, Greg?
Pitt does say that I like this Dannon fella. He had our athletic department in a responsible and enviable financial position. So.
Okay.
Other positive takeaways from the Maryland game. I like the fact that as a team we kept our composure. We were penalized 6 times, but for less than 50 yards. I would like to see us be a little bit better on third down. We didn't have a ton of chances. We were 3 of 7 compared to Maryland 7 of 15. I really like our third down defense more often than not. I don't like the fact that we like to go for it on fourth down so early in the game. That's just me.
It's true. Yeah, that is one thing we do need to get better at. But again, we're talking about things that we're improving on going forward that we did well.
Average yards per play, 7.7 yards per play for Nebraska. That's
good.
Huge because that keeps you on schedule. Again, a lot of that kind of going back to the Michigan State game is on due to the legs of Emmett Johnson. I go back to the Michigan State game, and the first 3 plays were rushing plays, and I think in those 3 plays got somewhere between 28 and 33 yards. Just the first 2 runs against Michigan State moved the sticks, and the third one went for 7 or 8, something like that. So again, I'm a big fan of more often than not of our run blocking, and I'm removing the offensive line performance against Michigan because it's Michigan and because what their defensive line was able to do. Dylan has been running for his life since then. So,
don't you think that if we were to play the Michigan game today, that we would fare much better?
Honestly, probably not.
Are you kidding me?
So here's the thing: we played them within 3 points. We left points on the field, but we just got out Jimmy'd and Joe'd up front on both sides of the ball. So we couldn't get much of a pass rush, and we couldn't do anything in pass protection. So I don't know if – I just don't think we have the guys up front to be able to stop the personnel that Michigan threw at us. So
interesting. Well, I disagree because I believe that our offensive line has made so many strides in a positive way that would make a difference in that game, as well as I don't know if you know this, but Justice Haynes, their lead running back, got injured at USC. I don't know if he's going to be playing. So I say if we were to play Michigan, I mean, he's basically a whole offensive team in and of himself. I think he scored 3 touchdowns against us. So I think we would fare really well.
Yeah. So, and I was just all things being the same from 4 weeks ago, I guess. Gosh, it's been almost now. So that's where my mind was, is that, I honestly, wasn't thinking about Haynes' injury. So I like the fact that as a defense, John Butler schemed to make Bryce Underwood beat us with his legs. And the downside is that he did, we let him loose one too many times and it came back to bite us. But I think we have taken the lessons learned from that Michigan loss. And, I still think that to an extent, some of the players are playing with a little attitude and they're making sure that we don't kind of fall into that rut or that trap or falling into that outcome because they've come back against Michigan State. They've come back against Maryland. And similar but unrelated, it's the players who requested to wear the white uniforms tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So
I love that they did that. They're like, screw it. We play well. We're a good team. We're going to do it. We're going to embrace it and we're going to freaking kick some Minnesota butt. Success in Life with Mike asks some questions. Can we talk? I mean, I guess we've talked a little bit about Maryland. Enough. We're a little more than an hour into the show. Do you think it's been enough?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm ready, like Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, to turn the page.
Okay. Well, the thing is tomorrow night we get to play Minnesota, right?
That's what the schedule says.
Can you highlight the question from
Success in Life with Mike?
Yeah.
Yep. This one here?
Yes.
How well can we contain Minnesota's quarterback and their running back room? They didn't look good against Purdue, spanked by Ohio State, and lost to Cal. We should have this.
We should. Their quarterback is Lindsay. I think it's Blake Lindsay or DJ Lindsay. It's a Lindsay. He's a redshirt freshman. And he is particularly a pocket passer. He's not going to run. Unlike every other game where we've had quarterbacks that are dual threat quarterbacks, we're not looking at that tomorrow night.
Drake Lindsay.
Drake Lindsay, that's his name.
He's from SEC country. He's a Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Yeah.
9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions this season, 1,284 yards. And I'm only asking because I'm curious, how many yards is Dylan throwing for, Minnie? Do you know?
No, I don't know off the top of my head. How many?
I'm actually going to Greggle it real quick.
Okay, go for it.
I will.
You know, I really desperately want to play that song. It's already playing in my head.
1,591 yards. So about 300 yards, 307 yards, technically more than Drake. Dylan's got 16 touchdowns, 5 interceptions compared to the 9 and 3 for Drake. But again, the outlier being the 3 interceptions thrown last week. Nebraska fares better against pocket passers, certainly. We are not yet a defense that is equipped or smart enough to stop the more mobile quarterbacks. So I do like our chances of shutting down the pass game. And I've been told, and I don't know this for a fact, but I've been told that their running back room is not terribly great.
They have an injury in their running back room, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you're right. It's not particularly great. And even their wide receivers, they don't have some like star wide receivers like we do. So I think we're okay. Scoring wise, I don't see them scoring very many against our defense. It's their defense, especially their defensive line, against our offense.
And they're struggling with stopping the run, is my understanding.
They are.
So, which is good for Nebraska because, again, we have a young man going back home, and I think he's going to want to make a statement. I also see Emmett Johnson being kind of like Saquon Barkley. I think it was last year with the Eagles, who, when he had the opportunity to break the single season rushing record or something, and they were up and it was out of hand, he said, "No, let the other guys play." I can see Emmett Johnson be like that too. He's like, "No, I've got my 150 and 2 touchdowns. We're up comfortably. Yeah, let's get some of the other guys some touches too." So that's my, again, perception of how he would approach that situation.
Gary Pierce, he says, "Go ahead." No, go ahead. You.
They would much rather have you read it.
Well, I have something to say about the comment, so why don't you go ahead and read it?
Oh, okay. Gary Pierce says, "I'll be interested to see if we can throw deep on them and then counter with Emmett Johnson's running. They picked a couple short passes from Purdue, but Purdue's quarterback didn't look great."
Yeah. So Holgerson had a press conference this week, and he was asked specifically about that run game and Dylan's throwing, how much more balanced it was in the last game. And I think that that's the goal. That's exactly what they're going to be going for, especially in this next game. As we know, Dylan loves to throw deep balls. He just hasn't done it very much in the games that we've seen him play this year. I for one would love that. I'm tired of seeing short passes. I know it eats up the clock, but I would love to see him throw some bombs. I just would.
Yeah, and again, there's the high percentage passes. There's the passes that move the chains when it's 3rd and 7, and you can't afford to miss deep and give the ball away. You have to punt the ball away. So yeah, you have Dane Key on a quick slant or turnaround, something quick to Ja'Cory Barner and Isaiah. So I understand the reasons behind the short passes. Like you, it would be great to see him air it out a little bit, but that will require the defense, or I'm sorry, not the offensive line protecting long enough for him to actually be able to, get the ball downfield. That was one of the comments. It was one of the comments. Something about one of the things that the takeaways that they had from Maryland was just Dylan getting rid of the ball faster. So.
Oh yeah, that was key. And again, Holgerson did talk about that. So Penn State just lost to Northwestern last weekend, right?
They did.
So I'm looking at Minnesota's scores over the last 7 weeks, and in their second week, they played Northwestern in Minnesota. And I forgot. They scored 66 points. 66-0. So their defense held Northwestern.
Yeah. No, that's not Northwest. That's Northwest State.
Oh, I wasn't looking at everything. You're right. My bad.
Everybody mark that. The 1 hour, 18 minute.
They play Northwestern. They play Northwestern in November.
It said I was right. It's on tape now.
It is. You're right, Craig. Thank you for catching my mistake.
Well, I didn't do it for that. I just wanted to make sure. Brad says, get your shit together by Monday, Minnie. Geez.
I try.
And Husker Chuck says that Northwestern State's in the same conference as Houston Christian.
Yeah. I realized that, guys. I realized that. Okay. I get it. Thank you very much, everyone, for pointing this out.
It's going to be more interesting to see, well, I can't say more interesting because I'm not that interested in Minnesota, but after we beat them, then they have to play Iowa, Michigan State. I guess they got obliterated by UCLA. So, I don't know how good they are anymore. Minnesota's schedule is a little bit like ours. It's, the middle teams, and, they have Oregon down the road. It's just there's good competition that they will face the rest of the year, just like good competition that we'll face the rest of the year. So,
yeah. Well, somehow or another, and this is where I go on my PJ Fleck kick. Somehow or another, PJ Fleck has pulled it together and made something out of nothing. He talks a lot about that. Nearly every time you hear him, he refers to the fact that, he's not the biggest guy. He's not the smartest. He's not this. He's not
Doesn't
that.
wear the big pants.
Yeah. That he's always had to work super hard to get anywhere. And yeah, he's actually really shown that in developing a team that is competitive in Minnesota.
Where did you hear all of that, Minnie?
Well, glad you asked. It was when I was away at Big Ten Media Days.
There it is. I had forgotten. You hadn't mentioned it in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So, he does a lot with very little. As well as he loves to tie things into his personal life, his personal tragedy about rowing the boat and what that signifies. Always keep trying, even if the waves of life keep coming against you, just keep rowing the boat. And
so I should not have titled this episode "Sink the Boat."
Yeah, no, Greg.
Oops. It's almost like I'm not a Fightin Fleckies fan.
Yeah. He's just, I don't know. I think that he does develop a lot. And I like that.
Okay. Do you like the fact that Minnesota has won this game for like 7 years in a row?
No, that I don't like.
Do you think that this is the year that we take back the trophy, take back our dignity, and unlike 2021? Yeah, 2021, where we have hope?
I already started this, at least my portion of the show, saying, how could you miss this game? This is the turning point. This is it, Greg.
It's true. I also think it's pretty good to be there for friends sometimes.
Crevice?
Huh?
Nothing?
Oh, I'm sorry that you don't like my friend's band. Music is subjective. I'm sure there's music that you listen to that we would all go, oh my gosh, what the hell?
Doubt it.
It's impossible. Moving on.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and let you besmirch my friend's bands.
Okay. I won't do it anymore.
Yes, you will. Or at least you won't verbalize it, but you'll think it.
Okay. I just wonder, where'd they come up with that name, Revis?
I don't know.
And Revis is actually probably how you would pronounce it.
Well,
isn't it Revis?
Yeah, but 15 years ago or more, there was a cornerback in the NFL named Darrelle Revis, and they probably had to differentiate. I forgot to ask him.
Okay. Oh, gosh. I would definitely ask.
All right.
Where'd you come up with this name?
I'll do that.
Please do. And let us know, because we are dying to know.
Cool. Is it time, Minnie?
For what?
For a trip to the theater?
Okay.
Oh, shit, apparently. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's time. How much time do you need to get ready?
Yeah, a while.
Oh, I think she's going to be putting on I don't want to say. Okay. While she's doing that, I'm going to share the link on YouTube, not on Facebook. Sorry, Facebook people. To the band. Check them out. I don't know. I'm biased. I like the stuff that was out there from their original album called Places for Breathing. They've had some other songs. They've, broke up. They got back together. They had a song on the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie soundtrack. If you go back 20 years, 21, 22 years. Anyway. So, thanks, Raji, for the update on the game. Thanks, Raji. I like that you're just celebrating this moment, Justin. I'm happy you're happy, I suppose. Let's back up a little bit. James Boardman said early on when Michael was here that in the old Big 8 days, Nebraska and Missouri played for the victory bell.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, that's all the old comments that we're getting to. Okay, here we go, everybody.
I thought I was ready. Hold on. Okay. Jeez.
Okay. A bald cap. A bald cap. Yeah, lots of questions. Lots of laughter. Lots of good times. All right.
Go ahead.
You have the first line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Husker fans, Gophers, faithful, welcome to the grand showdown of salesmanship, swagger, and most importantly, row the boat.
PJ, good to see you. I've heard all about why this is not working. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I've heard all about your row the boat thing. You basically turned motivational speaking into cardio.
Hey, when you look this good in loafers and capri pants, you gotta move. I'm not just rowing the boat, I'm captaining a yacht of optimism.
More like a pontoon of pretense. You ever wonder why people make fun of you, PJ? It's the high knees, the tie, the pocket square, and constant yelling about boats. Boats, boats, boats.
People make fun of what they don't understand, Matt. They see the outfit and think fashion disaster, but I see brand consistency.
Yeah, well, I've had my fair share too. They said looking like an Ewok in a smock.
An Ewok? That's adorable. You're like the Star Wars version of a team mascot.
I'm surprised you knew Star Wars didn't say Star Trek. At least Ewoks win battles. You're out here rowing in circles.
Circles? No, sir. We row with direction, passion, purpose, and matching loafers.
Matching loafers? You look like you just left a yacht club baby shower.
Says the guy who spent half his career looking like he was wearing a painter's tarp.
It's called comfort, Peach. I'm a football coach, not a fashion influencer.
Well, your smock sure influenced the memes.
Yeah, I saw yours too. PJ Fleck is the kind of guy who claps after his own Zoom calls.
Guilty. It's called energy. Maybe you should try it sometime.
I tried energy. It's exhausting. I'd rather call it timeout.
Timeout? There are no timeouts in rowing the boat. You keep rowing and rowing through adversity.
Yeah, but what happens when the boat sinks, PJ?
You swim with positivity until another boat comes along.
I bring bowls into the weight room to fire up my guys. What do you bring?
Matching oars and motivational quotes. You bring livestock, I bring leadership.
You bring loafers to a football fight.
They're aerodynamic.
They're ridiculous.
When Nebraska takes the field, oops, sorry. Look When the Gophers take the field, we do it with class.
When Nebraska takes the field, we do it with grit.
Ooh. You can keep your grit. I'll keep my life. Or my tie.
You wrote the script. Deal. Just don't trip over your capris on the way out.
Don't worry. I'll row right past you.
You do that, PJ. Just make sure you're rowing toward the end zone this time.
Oh, we are. With rhythm and style and a perfectly folded pocket square.
Now I'll be on the sideline in my smock, watching your boat drift backward.
That's fine, Matt. At least I'm looking good doing it.
Touche, Captain Capri.
Keep rowing, Coach Ewok. Row the boat.
Calm the storm.
Go Big Ten.
Go Big Red. Let's see.
Hello. Did we get an Emmy? Did we get nominated?
Shut down the theater.
We need somebody to help me write.
We found your coach love interest. It says you're just wearing your wig inside out. Digging Arizona says Minnie's the best thing that's ever happened to mankind.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And Beetlebee says you're lovely without blonde hair.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Beetlebee.
Raji says we will have loafers made out of gophers.
Oh, yeah.
And for that, he was awarded 75 pit points. That might be the highest ever individual awarding. Matney, living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, still can't believe that you like PJ Fleck.
You guys realize that PJ and I have very similar personalities. That's kind of why.
Fred thought it was a thinking cap. Husker Chuck's laughing so hard I can't understand what you're saying. And Gary says, I knew you guys would get PJ on the show somehow. Fred says, seeing this tonight, this is payback for me with the wig. Now I got the nightmare fuel, my poor, poor brain. Pitt also says you're really trying to throw us off the wig trail. James is going to have nightmares.
Well, guys, I've been dying to do a bald man look for a long time. I was going to have Greg play it, but it would not be as much fun with him playing it. Let's be honest. I mean, Greg, I don't know if you guys realize this. He lost all of his hair.
I didn't lose it. I know exactly where it ended up. Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, asks if there was a writer's strike.
Yeah, Highlander gun won't help me. I'm on my own, writing these scripts.
In 1970s, Child says you're the Farrah Fawcett of the 2020s, and I don't know what that means.
Thank you very much. It's my hairstyle, not the bald one.
I'm not going to read it. I just want you to see it.
I did say that, didn't I? Jeez. I gotta watch my mouth.
Let's see. All right. I think that recaps most of the high points of the. How can you not know what that means?
What means?
I already forgot.
Okay.
Oh,
Farrah Fawcett. The Farrah Fawcett comment?
Yeah.
She's
Well, she's never been on. Minnie's never been on Charlie's Angels, to my knowledge.
Nope, never. Okay, here we go, guys. Get your score predictions in. And remember what I told you about Minnesota, okay?
They're horrible human beings.
I did not say that. I just said they have a redshirt freshman, that they have an injured running back, that their defensive line is pretty good, but our offense is better. And obviously, our special teams is kick ass. We didn't even cover that.
We didn't. We did. I talked about Kenneth Williams, and that spurned or spawned the whole scholarship announcement debacle conversation. I've learned my lesson.
Greg, it looks like your head has lost weight.
It's just
you could put like 2 fingers under that cap.
Like I cut all the hair. That was the problem.
Maybe you need to start drinking more. Gain some of the weight back in your head.
I don't know if I can say this beer goes. I mean, I was gonna say straight to my brain, but most beers do. So.
Do you think that the reason that you're trying to lose a little weight is because of what Kaylee said?
No, I don't remember what Kaylee said.
About your head being big?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. Because honestly, it isn't that big.
No. No. Part of it has to do with my knees aching every time I have to go upstairs at the end of the night.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what happens when you get old.
Yeah, but when you're old and fat with bad knees, it's just not a great combination.
Okay. Well, I applaud your efforts.
Thank you. Gary, I just highlighted yours out of order, just so you know. And we do have highlighted comments to get to. And this happened when Michael was here. We were talking about the fundraising efforts for Team Jack, and Highlander Gun with a very good question says, what about the broken promise of watching Young Guns, Greg? I will figure out a way, damn it.
You keep saying that.
Well,
you know he's not going to do it, you guys.
I mean it this time. I will figure out a way.
Okay. Greg, give us a date.
Well,
this is the only way I'm going to accept that you say this time things are different, okay? You got to give me a date when things will change and we will actually watch this stinking movie.
Do we want to do it after the season? Like, we don't want to do it during the season, do we?
Okay, so we have October, November. We're going to the national championship game. So January, what is it? January, the middle of January, right? January 19th or something?
Something.
So the weekend after, is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Okay, what is that?
Well, we'll pick one of those weekends after, because I don't want to do it if the boys are here, because then I won't be able to properly enjoy the movie. So,
yeah. Pitt, I don't know if you remember this or not. Not only have I seen the movie, well, I saw it just right before we were supposed to view it so that I could get into character. I wore a holster. I wore a cowboy hat. I wore a bandana. Remember? And I had a bottle of Jack Daniels.
That's commitment to the bit.
I was ready.
Let's see. It says, my bad. I forgot. I drink. All right. Let's see. So we got that one. Highlander. Oh, that's old. Digging says hello. That was 9:30. And living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says, let's grant Greg some grace. He's supporting his friend. As the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, I grant Greg an excused absence. Thank you, David.
Okay, number one, David Matney. Yes, you played an awesome role in one Five Heart Theater. And yes, you bring your family and your fandom to the Five Heart Podcast. However, that does not give you the authority to grant him an excused absence.
Are you the only one who's allowed to grant me an excused absence? If I bring a note from my doctor,
that this is actually medically necessary for you to attend?
I think it's good to get out there and socialize with my friends.
Okay, actually, when you put it that way, now I feel guilty for making you feel guilty.
Oh, I never felt guilty. That's fine. But I will agree with Pitt. If my negligence costs us the game, Pitt's going to be pissed. I'll be pissed.
Deduct his points. Deduct it. At least deduct some points just for him going. Come on.
Tell you what, if we lose, and I don't think we will, but if we lose, Pitt, you are allowed to deduct from my tally the margin of points of which we lost +1. That's not it. All right. We have more starred comments. Question for the chat. If it meant life or death, do you think Matt Rule stays at Nebraska or is he the next head coach at Penn State? We didn't even broach that topic, Minnie.
Oh, I was hoping we would get through the entire show without talking about this.
It's all my fault. By me, I mean Mr. Matney. I think he stays.
Okay. Here's the thing. I said it 5 days ago.
Saturday?
Sunday.
Wednesday, Tuesday,
Thursday.
Monday.
Never mind. I said it 4 days ago. Is that okay? Is my mouth right? Yeah? No?
It's like you don't sometimes think about the words that you say.
I do too. What did I say now? What did I say now?
Anybody else want to say it in the comments? I don't want to be the one.
What did I say? No, come on. What is wrong with that? No, I said, is my math right?
No,
math.
It did not sound like math at all.
Math. What else did you think I meant? Math. Addition, subtraction, adding days. That's what I was talking about. You guys are perverted. I don't even know why I hang out with you guys. Everything always goes sideways when I'm trying to work things out. And you give me a hard time when I'm just trying to do simple math.
Math, okay. If the arithmetic is accurate.
Yes.
4 days.
Then, okay, what I was going to say is I said a long time ago, he's not leaving. And even if he does, guys, it's okay. We're in a much better position right now, today, in our program than we have been since I've been a fan. It's not the end of the world, and I don't want to talk about it because guess what? If he leaves, then he leaves. We'll get a great coach to coach Nebraska. We're not going back. We're not reverting back. Okay?
It would be the first time in half of a century where a coach left for a new job. Frost fired, Riley fired, Pelini fired, Callahan fired, Solich fired, Osborne retired, Devaney retired.
Right.
So you have to go back over 60 years.
Yeah.
For Nebraska head coach to be in a position where he would leave for what is probably, even despite Penn State's recent woes on the field, 0-3 in the last few games, but perceived for a better situation, right? So I don't think Matt Rule's going. No offense to Matt Rule. First of all, I'm happy to say that Matt Rule is a program builder, and Penn State doesn't need a program builder. A lot of their pieces are in place. Now, when James Franklin got fired, most of their 2027 recruiting class decommitted. Maybe some of their 2026 class, they just gone. But, and this is not a Greg Mahochko original idea. Smarter people than me said this. Penn State will need to make some type of splash hire. And love him to death, Matt Rule's not a splash hire. So,
wash your mouth out with soap.
He's not a Urban Meyer, Nick Saban level name.
Guess what? That's exactly the level name that he's planning on creating for himself right here in Nebraska.
And I want that for him right here in Nebraska.
Yeah.
So
it's going to happen. What makes me kind of chuckle internally, yes, is when I read the comments from people saying, oh, the Penn State job would be 100 times better than the Nebraska job. Where'd he go? I bet he touched his USB. I bet you anything he did. Well, you guys, here's what I'm going to leave you with. If he leaves, right? Because if we die, we die. You're welcome. That's my dad joke. Oh, Greg, he just randomly goes. We're in the middle of a deep conversation and then he's gone. I don't think the Penn State job is all that, is what I was trying to say. Just what Carrie said. He is very good, close friends with Pat Kraft, who's the AD over there. And in listening to Pat Kraft, he's definitely trying to salvage a program that he saw not really going anywhere. Hi, Greg. Are you back?
Somewhere.
Okay, your video's not on.
That's probably for the best.
There you are.
Oh, damn.
But you know what I realized? This was definitely strategic. Him firing Franklin in the middle of the season like this, because if a head coach gets fired or when a head coach leaves a program, the players have 30 days to leave the program. Also, in the middle of the season, they're a lot less likely to do that than at the end of the season. So you wouldn't want to wait till the end of the season.
It's true. No, that's good. Good idea. Or a good strategy. It sucks for the players,
Right.
But hey, it turned out all right for UCLA, who's playing better now than they had in the first few weeks of the season. So
right. And it's a way of saving the team that you actually have. It's not easy to recruit players. It really isn't, especially high caliber players. So you want to keep that intact as much as possible.
Let's see. Oh, David Matney, I did get your email about this. Minnie, did you have an opportunity to see the latest house rules today?
Well, I was busy all day. I didn't I always look at everything as soon as it comes out. Now I feel guilty that somebody asked.
No, well, so I don't know. I don't sit down and watch House Rules, so I didn't know what the old set looked like versus the new set. I mean, that's why I didn't flip it on. Like I went back to, I think it was after the Cincinnati game, and saw what his background looked like, and then I saw there was a beer sign back there, for some sponsorship, but I didn't know what I was missing, David. So I'm probably not the best person to ask that question to. I apologize.
Oh,
Excuse me.
this was the one just 15 hours ago.
And that's right. Kaylee does get 25 points from Pitt for the Batman reference. So, because she said you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Oh, I love that.
So, from The Dark Knight.
Well, he has an American flag. Folded American flag. I like that. Greg, he's totally stole your background.
He's been watching the show.
Obviously. He has an outlaw light can, and then just some shelves, just like you have, only his are floating shelves.
Well.
As a plant, you have a tree. Show us your tree, Greg.
Oh, yes.
Look at it. Guys, look at this. Matt has a plant. Greg has a tree.
We are practically the same people.
I love it. Yeah, he changed his background. It's all.
Fred wants to know, does he have a boob light?
No, he definitely does not have a boob light. I guarantee his designer nixed that.
I don't have a boob light anymore, Fred, either. So, and that is not a reefer plant. That is a fake ficus tree, I'm pretty sure. I am definitely Matt Rule's spirit animal. It's not the other way around. So,
Greg, I have to say, I almost like your background better.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Maybe it's because I helped design it.
Maybe. Let's see. Oh, Highlander Gun wanted to know what genre my buddy's band is. It's a post-grunge rock. Came about in the early aughts. So she don't want to talk about it. But she can't talk about it because she don't want to be negative. Because music is subjective. So living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, says, if we can win without playing a complete game, imagine what we would do when we do play a complete game. That is a positive sign.
Yes.
When we're talking about positives, success in life with Mike says positive. We won against Maryland, and now we must dominate against Minnesota and make a true Husker statement.
Amen.
And as she is prone to do, Melissa, of course, will give us her score prediction, but she also has an in-game side bet, prop bet prediction, and that is she thinks we'll have a fumble recovery tomorrow.
I think she's right.
Let's see.
I piggybacked on that. Sorry.
What?
That I agree with, but I'm going to give credit to Melissa if that happens.
James Boardman says they're going to sell out and ruin Emmett Johnson's homecoming. I think Dylan will have a huge game. As his, I don't know if that's a bold prediction, but we can put that one down there. Let's see. Looking to see if there's anything else that's not a score. Wade Farr wants to know how many times will Fleck throw a tantrum when he doesn't get his way. Just presume all of them, all of the times, whether it's 1, 5, or 15. If something doesn't go his way, He's going to be up there. I envision him like a little kid in a sailor suit. Let's see. Oh, we got one offline. So, best friend of the show, Josh, is not here with us tonight because it is his birthday. So
it's my mom's birthday too, and two of my nieces.
It's Josh's mom's birthday too.
Okay. Wow.
What is going on in the middle of January? It must be cold. That here in October, everybody's born.
Well.
Before we get to, let's see. That's cheating. We'll come back to that, Joe. Two picks for our defense tomorrow is what Pitt has to say. Joe says, Joe Leka says, don't forget that Julie told Matt she likes Lincoln, so, quote, don't mess this up.
Yes.
That's huge as well. And I think, all right. I'm ready for some scores. Minnie, if you're ready to write them down. Furiously.
Pen and paper. Ready.
Justin Raji says, my prediction, Huskers 32, Minnesota 17.
Okay.
Success in Life with Mike says, strength of schedule suggests we win by 10 or so. I hope they are right, but I want to win by 21. So that's why he has the score of 38-17.
Okay.
Melissa says 35-13 Huskers.
Okay.
And didn't I already give you Raji's?
Yes.
Wasn't it 32-17?
Yes.
Just make sure, because he put it in there again. I want to make sure he didn't make it change his mind. Christopher says Huskers 37-27.
Okay.
Husker Chuck says, accidentally. Husker Chuck, throw yours back up. I thought it was 34-24. I accidentally unstarted it rather than posting it. So Husker Chuck, please throw yours back up. Again, I think it was 34-24. Don't write that down. Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the Five Heart Podcast, says Nebraska 31, Minnesota 10.
Okay.
Wade Farr says Nebraska 27, Minnesota 13.
Ooh. Okay.
You will love this one. Husker Bob says 51-17 Huskers.
You know what? I like his scores.
Never Mind Me says 31-10 Skurs. James Boardman says Nebraska 24-20. Little close.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one, James. Try harder next week.
The Monday Night Madman, Fred Sacco, says Nebraska 38, Minnesota 17.
He's the one that holds it all together.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of crazy. He's more put together than me. I don't even know how that happened.
I don't know how that happens. Beetle B says 24-17.
Okay.
And Gary Pierce says sticking with 42-13. Stephen Villeneuve, sorry, Stephen, says 31-17, Go Big Red.
We already had that score, I think. Nope, 32-17. Okay.
Vince Watson says 33-24 Huskers.
Okay.
Pitt says, okay, I'm manifesting with Bob. Huskers 62, Gophers 3.
Guys, for this to work, we all need a moment of silence. Just one moment. Okay. Thank you.
That was a pretty short
63.
moment.
Yeah.
Before we get to his football prediction, Joe says black short sweep, and his Husker prediction is 31-17.
Now, we did have that. Stephen and him have the same score.
All right. He really breaks it down, though, as far as how the game's going to play out. But sounds like Nebraska is going to, in his prediction, lead throughout. So from bell to bell. Roger Moore says 27-20 Nebraska.
Okay.
Low Husker says finally a complete game, 41-13.
Ooh, yes, baby.
And Husker Chuck did throw his up there again. I was way off. 24-13 Nebraska.
Hold on. 24-13. Okay. Okay.
DCK says PJ's a fussy man, but he's due 45-13. Does that mean 45-13 Minnesota?
No.
Are we
Remember,
sure?
DCK loves Dylan Raiola.
We need clarification on that one, DCK.
Oh, we don't. Don't worry. I gotcha.
All right. Kaylee Bartles says Nebraska 45, Minnesota 19.
Well, Kaylee. Guys, she usually knows what's going on.
The birthday boy, Josh.
Actually, her and Melissa are within 10 points of each other. Melissa chose 35-13, and Kaylee chose 45-13.
Well,
no, 19.
Clearly, Kaylee has more faith in Nebraska than Melissa. No kidding. Josh, I confirmed he's sticking with his regular 35-17.
Okay, got it. What about Fred? I didn't get Fred's.
It was up there. I know I said it.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Fred, throw yours back up there if that's all right, brother.
I'm also going to add Joe Lakis' 84-16.
Oh, just for fun. And he gets to pick whichever one's closer?
Yes. All right.
Fred, put yours back up there if you don't mind, just so we make sure we get that. He thinks he had 38-17.
Okay. I think that's what he normally guesses.
Probably. Like Josh doesn't ever change his. Haas said 24-20 Nebraska.
Jake
said 34-17 Nebraska.
See, he knows. You know what I've noticed? Haas is a brilliant football mind, but he's not very good at picking scores. 24-20.
Oh. Minnie, what is your score prediction?
Shit. Shoot, I mean, okay.
That's probably fine.
I say Minnesota will score 13. And I say Nebraska scores 45.
All right. Oop. Almost put an extra 0 in there to make it look like we would score 450. That's not realistic. Mine's not too terribly far away. I think it's kind of in line with what most of the Holger Maniacs are thinking this week. I think it's going to be a solid outing for the defense. I think we're going to be able to make some plays on both sides of the ball. I really do like Emmett and, if necessary, Isaiah Mosey, Quentin Ives, whomever. I think the offensive line can push around Minnesota a little bit and open up some holes for our backs. And I don't disagree with, I can't remember who it was in the comments, but I do think Dylan's going to have another solid game. I don't think we'll see another 3 interceptions. I actually have us, and I'm probably honestly a little lower on our Nebraska points than it may be, but I'm going with my gut here, and I say 38-10 Nebraska.
Greg, I actually really like that score.
Thank you.
But you won't know if you got it until Saturday.
It's true.
You know what? Here's what I'll do for you. If
Mm-mm.
you get it, I'll let you know.
No, don't do that.
Tomorrow.
Don't do that. That'd be very sad.
Okay, I won't.
Because I do like to, I'll never forget years back when Nebraska was still in the Big 12. It was the infamous game that Taylor Martinez at Texas A&M, where he went to the locker room, allegedly like called his dad at halftime or something like that. We ended up losing 9-6. 9-6. I was out of town. I didn't get home till after midnight. Watched the game, fast forwarding through commercials and things like that. Finished it up between 3 and 3:30 in the morning, just for it to be 9-6. I was so pissed. But I gotta watch the game. So, all right, Minnie, I think that's it.
Well, you didn't like that comment I just threw up there?
Oh, I mean, good BS for another.
No, the other one.
I didn't see the other one.
Something about no time for hair after 50. What's your excuse, Greg?
No time for hair. No desire to mess with it. Saving on the price of shampoo. There. Can mitigate my shampoo budget. Anyway, as a reminder, everybody, if you haven't yet, go check out brokenchairtrophy.com and make your donation, please. Help out Team Jack. And we will see you next week. A quick reminder, we have Coronation Overreaction Sunday night. Minnie and Fred will be right back here Monday night, 9 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Arizona for Monday Night Therapy. And then on Tuesday, Andy Ketterson and Huskers Happy Hour. And I'll be honest with you, I think it starts at 8 o'clock Central, but I'm not really sure. Either way, make sure the best way that you can find out all of this information, what is live and when, is by liking this video, subscribing to the Coronation YouTube channel, and ringing that bell for notifications so you never miss an update. So for Minnie Hunt, Michael Andrews from the $5 Bits of Broken Chair Trophy, who is joining us at the outset, I'm Greg Mahochko. This is the 5 Heart Podcast, and we remind you each and every week that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
All right. Thank you so much. Greg, you are, do you just take one deep breath to say all that?
Sometimes.
Yeah, what about John's books, et cetera, et cetera? You're missing so much information.
Well, don't forget about Ben Dead, Never Been to Europe. It's one of the trilogy that John wrote that's available at Amazon.com. And since we don't have a Cobby Corn shop anymore, there's no merch to peddle. So go check out John's books and support the other shows here on Coronation. Just make sure you go to coronation.com and read all the great stuff. We have a tremendous staff of passionate Husker fans just like yourselves. So,
Greg, I just think it's really amazing how you can just keep going and going. All right, let's talk about Pop-Tarts.
We got 3 different varieties of Pop-Tarts upstairs because each of my boys had to get their own.
I am kidding. I'm going to let you guys go tonight. Watch the game tomorrow. We'll see you again later this weekend on Sunday night. Go Big Red.